Shaun from Famous Faces and Funnies, and you saw me yawn like I always do, except I was stretching this time.
This time it was more of a...
It's like a power yawn to make sure I don't yawn too much during this episode.
It was a Shaun yawn.
Whenever I'm tired 90% of my life.
Because he's up doing nothing 10% of his life.
Yeah.
He's got it easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Let's just introduce yourself so I don't get myself into trouble.
This is Sebastian, who works so much harder than Shaun for bestcomics.com.
I work.
And this is Vic. And it's loud.
Yeah, it is loud.
Because nobody spoke to them yet.
Whatever. They're playing something, I don't care. We're busy. I guess. I don't know. They're doing something. Who cares? Aquaman number 13 is aquatastic.
It's so good.
It is. It's very, very good.
And my boy didn't die. So
I was close. I was close.
I kept waiting. I was like, oh, this they just kept doing it for me. Oh, I'm going to put a pointy thing near his head.
No, Black Manta, stop being such a douche. Just leave him alone. He did nothing to you. He didn't kill your dad.
Yeah.
You leave him alone. And the good news is, Jeff Johns is staying on this. He's not leaving on issue 16 like we thought.
And,
yay!
And talk about Aquaman being the man, Aquaman, and how do you end a fight with Black Manta? By going, you're not worth it. Black Manta, you a bitch. Swim. And Black Manta like, no.
Yeah, it was great. It's Aquaman. It's the only time Aquaman's ever been worthy of, like, you should read Aquaman. So,
it's so good.
A year later, and we're still
It's a shame they
about
dissed him by out of the new DC special limited whatever Kias for the hero.
Oh yeah, because those cars are so cool.
The Aquaman one was the ugliest one. The Flash one and the Bat one were pretty
They're
cool.
all stupid. No comic geek is going to be, sorry, comic geek, whatever. No dude's going to be like, I want that car. Give me that car. The only one would be the douche guys who have the Superman tattoo and the Superman shirts that have never read a Superman comic. That you see at Steak and Shake at 3 in the morning.
I haven't seen the Superman one. And you know what? No, I like the Bat car. I would even drive the Aqua car just because it was so ugly.
The only person
but the Flash car
would be great.
Really the Flash car.
That's the only one worthy of being in a car because it probably goes really fast.
But I do like saying to the back here. But I like them, and all my students like them.
Wolverine in the X-Men 19. He's still not back.
Steve.
He's still not back.
But he's not back.
They're trying. Best part of this, they're trying to find new teachers, and everyone in the 90s I hate.
They line them up. They line up.
There's like Sebastian's favorite character. Let's do this. This guy. This guy.
Oh, it was missing. Yeah, they should have hired like the Avengers Academy is clearly gone. They could have hired all the old Avengers.
It's just like, what books does Shaun make fun of you for? Let's make that guy a teacher. It was awesome. And it was,
what the hell did they have in there?
They had Ghost
I like
Rider.
Longshot, but there's nobody else in there that I like. I don't like Longshot.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't like Ghost Rider.
It was just fantastic.
I don't give a crap about Blade.
And the fact that they're hiring all these teachers because mutants are
It's
back.
probably the best thing they've ever done with Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool, best thing since Rick Remender's written him. Jason Aaron and Rick Remender can write him.
And
I'd
read a book about Matt Murdock, a lawyer to Worthington, Industries or whatever the hell.
Spider-Man was a teacher. That was pretty awesome. Fat Cobra, that Jason Aaron created in Immortal Iron Fist. Like, let me just write this guy in here. Let me actually make him funny.
They had one normal. Look, I'm not a super. I'm just a normal human.
Just a normal human.
Who's actually, she's like, I'm actually certified and I have degrees in education. Are any of you qualified to teach? Next.
Fantastic. This whole issue. It's just so great. It's so great. Best Marvel book. Every 2 weeks, I don't care when it can come out every day for all I care. Best Marvel book. Action Comics Annual #1.
It's first off, it's Cully Hamner on art, so it's a lot of fun to look at. I just love the hell out of Cully Hamner. First story was okay. The main story was okay. It was pretty good. The art was gorgeous. The story itself was pretty good. It was a better Superman for the new 52. The backup story, meh. But no, this was overall pretty good, pretty damn good.
I was wondering, I'm like, this is a lot of annuals. Oh, that's right, because it was the last week of October, because it was a 5-week thing. And now it's November, and November's the best month of the year because of Thanksgiving.
Trick or treat. The bat, the cat, and the owl, which
Batgirl Annual
sounds
1.
Sounds like a nursery rhyme, but yeah,
or something you can watch on the internet. Fun fact: don't Google Batgirl number 13 into a Google search and expect good images. Jared did it.
I'm suddenly terrified.
Jared did it. Second row, third picture.
I don't know what to tell you.
Breaking Batgirl.
But this is really, really good.
This art's fantastic.
Yeah, the art, it's painted art, it's just gorgeous. Gail Simone writes the hell out of it, and even though we all miss Gail Simone on Secret Six, and you know she's not on Birds of Prey, so we miss her from Secret Six, we miss her from Birds of Prey, but this kind of ties in because they'd announced now that you know you can't uninvent. Scott Snyder invented Talons, and the entire New 52 went, ooh, can I have one? So there's the Talon that's got his own book that's really good. There's the Talons that are still bad guys, and then there's this Talon who shows up and is she almost the way she's handled almost reminds me of a. She doesn't talk so much, though she does some, the writing and the kick-ass, and not so great at the whole relating to people who are being nice to her. So she kind of reminded me of who's the little Batgirl everybody wants back, not the one we want back.
Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain.
Yeah.
About the mouse.
Yeah, as you said, yeah, not the one we want back. That's the Stephanie Brown.
I was wearing that Court Bowles mask all day yesterday. I couldn't breathe.
I was thinking the other day there was a scene where Spider-Man came out of like water and started talking, and I was like, if you were wearing a face mask like that, like a cloth mask, and you came up out of water, you would be drowning even out of the water because you'd just be breathing. And I was like, oh my god, I never thought of that before. Superhero costumes will kill you. But so yeah, that's how you breathe. But no, the story's really good, and this Talon is the one who they said will be introduced in Dwayne Straczynski's Birds of Prey. It helps me think. You're lucky it wasn't like, I have a father. Oh yeah, Birds of Prey. But yeah, this is really, really good. It's a great story. Gail Simone does what Gail Simone does best. She nails this. She nails Catwoman's written spot on. Batgirl's written spot on, and this new Talon, we don't know her, so we can only assume she's written spot on. But it was really, really good.
Rachel Rising, number 12.
Holy crap! This book is awesome. Go buy the trades. Go buy the issues. Read it. Holy cow!
Allies, number 3.
Is actually really good. I keep expecting that any moment I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered this, and then I go to read it. Like, each time I get it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna flip through this and blah blah. But no, I end up reading it, and it's really, really good story. It's some great characterization.
Ultimate Spider-Man 16.1 has Miles in it for like 2 panels, maybe 3.
Yeah,
it's all about Betty.
More Ultimate than Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's all about Betty thinking she figured out who Ultimate Spider-Man is. Because she figured out he was black.
She was like,
"Is J. Jonah Jameson?"
She was like, oh, and there you thump.
Yeah, like nailed it. That kid looks like he fits the mold, but that dad, that's the guy.
You probably know he's Spider-Man. She was so close.
It was a good issue though. It wasn't the best issue of it, but it was a cool little tie. It fit in with the universe.
And yeah, and it was my first encounter with Ultimate somebody that shows up at the end. Oh, okay. I haven't read Ultimate Spider-Man until Miles.
Yeah,
I read it way back at the beginning and didn't like it.
I totally forgot. Yeah, I haven't. Oh god, I forgot what happened to him.
It's a little Ultimate for Betty there.
What happened to him?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. We'll find out. New Mutants 50.
It's sad because it's over, but it was really, really good.
It made it 50 issues. I'm giving it all the credit in the world for making it 50 issues.
Abnett Lanning took it, and they did great. They not only did they wrap this up, but they gave some closure to one of my favorite stories from what was there in space thing? Annihilation.
Annihilators.
Annihilators.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. They did Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova, and Annihilate. They did all the space stuff from Marvel.
There was the one issue of one had Warlock in it.
Yeah, Guardian.
Was it Guardians or
Guardian of the Galaxy?
I thought it was initially Nova. But
either way.
But yeah, they tie back into this. They end everything nicely. They leave a nice clean slate for whoever's going to pick up these characters in any of the different books they may end up in Marvel now, if at all. But of course, that only half fills me with hope because Christos Gage ended his series nicely with them all set to be picked up, just so that somebody named Hopeless can kill them all in a
not reading that book
in a rip-off book that we're not reading.
We almost held hands. That was weird. Justice League Dark Annual #1.
Did you read that?
No, got no reason not to read it.
I just like your... No.
I was trying to think, like, there's a reason why I didn't read this. I honestly have no reason not to read this since issue 9 when Milligan took over, or, Lemire took over.
And it's so
I like
good.
Lemire stuff.
And it's so good.
I think that first issue I read just turned me off so much. I just don't...
There are even characters that, like,
Yeah, like the guy from Books of Magic's in it, right?
Yeah,
and
Timothy Hunter. But even like characters that we like to
stuff.
give other people that come into the store a hard time for. It was some great moments with Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. He took, Amethyst has been in the New 52 for about 11 seconds, and she's here and she's cool, and she has a little repartee moment with Frankenstein. Not a pairing I would have come up with, but Jeff Lemire makes it work.
Green Hornet Strikes.
Yeah, Lucky Strikes here. Green Hornet.
Oh, come on, it's like...
So it's Green Hornet number what?
Number 30? Number 30.
Look at that. Green Hornet number 30 is good. After this is like the third issue of this creative team. I wasn't as thrilled with the when they first took over. I think I missed the old way more than I was disappointed with what was going on. But then second issue was a little better. Third issue, I'm starting to grow into this team. This one, I love this book. I forgot it wasn't done. I think the last one came out in 1936. The Green Hornet Strikes. Number 10, I think it's the last in the... This is like Green Hornet in the little future. But like issue number 9 came out, I couldn't tell you when.
Normally it says like when the script was published. It does not.
But oh my god, it was like forever ago. But this one came out and I was like, whoa! I totally forgot that wasn't done. And it even without fully remembering everything that was going on, it all started coming back to me as I was reading this. It was just a great ending, really solid.
Swamp Thing Annual number 1. It was good. Dude, I couldn't tell you too much about it because I was like half awake when I was reading this.
This is one of my favorite Swamp Thing stories we've had.
Becky Cloonan drew it, so that just makes it instantly fantastic.
Gorgeous,
I love that she just comes in and does little one-shot things and owns it.
It's Swamp Thing pre-Swamp Thing. It's when
it's the backstory.
It's when Abby met what's Helen's first name? Alec.
Alec.
When Abby met Alec, and it's actually cute and sweet and very contrasted by
Scott Snyder writing cute and sweet is just weird.
Who knew? You know? But it's also very sharply contrasted by they keep cutting back to this is a story told in flashback and keeps cutting to the current storyline where the Rot world has taken over. So you've got big horned bark armored Swamp Thing going, if they killed Abigail,
Swamp Thing sounds like in your head?
When he's yelling, they give him like jagged little teeth. Cloonan and I don't like nah.
And he's like this nice, peaceful guy.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Normally in my head I just hear from the movie. I just hear Cable. I hear the movie.
Oh man, I used to have a whole bunch of Swamp Thing toys when those movies were on. I used to play with those all the time. It was like my favorite thing, and I never saw the movie when I was little. My parents wouldn't let me.
That's because what's her name had
I don't know.
Huge tracts of land.
I wonder if I still have those somewhere. I want to get them and like put them on the table for the next thing. Chosen
is
I don't even okay.
It's a thing. It's the Liquid Comics line out of Dynamite. Marcus Nispel. He did. It says right here from the director of Friday the 13th and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Marcus Nispel's Chosen. This was good. It wasn't great. There were a few bumps along the road of I guess some of the differences of writing a movie script to a comic script, but I liked it. It was really, really good. And last week, this came out last week, but I forgot all my Dynamite books at home for last week's review.
Is that why this is so big?
Yeah, some of it. But I was also last week. One of the guys on Newsarama did a review, and he just tore into the fact that in the story there's a kid.
Newsarama.
Well, it was an odd thing to tear into. The story is this kid who ends up in kind of like juvie, and he's being blackmailed into working for these people. He's this chosen Zen martial arts, kind of like a Green Llama-esque kind of, one with the universe so I can kick ass kind of guy. And they want to use him as like a for money fighter, and he doesn't want to do it. So they show him pictures of here's your girlfriend's house, and right now I got people watching it, but we could go in there. And the guy from Newsarama was very thorny. It's cheap and horrible, to have someone threaten to sexually assault a teenage girl, and it is. But it wasn't done just for like a ooh la la.
The story, correct?
It's the bad guys doing it.
Character.
It's not like a story about that. So he's like, to have to motivate a character by stooping to that level. And I was like,
meanwhile, this guy is the guy who's like, Cross is the best book ever.
And I was like, but bad guys have to be bad. That's what
There's
a bad guy does.
Called bad
and then
guys.
you got to root for somebody to come and kick their ass for doing this kind of thing. So I don't know what the big hoopla was, but the book itself was pretty good.
Warriors of Mars #5.
It's just fun. It's at this point we've gone into the future. Gulliver has gotten back to Earth and tried to get back to Mars, but ends up back in Mars way in the future. So he's with like the daughter or granddaughter, I forget, of John Carter and Deja Torres. So he's like, whoa, you look just like there's nobody claiming you. Ooh, hi, I'm Gulliver.
Lord of the Jungle #8.
I like this book. It's a Tarzan thing. I like it.
George of the Jungle book. It'd be so awesome. Make a George of the Jungle book. Shadow #6.
Shadow's just awesome. It's
Phil Garth Ennis, right? He hasn't left?
Yeah.
Cool. Good for
yeah,
him.
that's why it's still awesome. It's Garth Ennis just writes
his
that.
favorite superhero.
He loves the Shadow, and she shows it. Every issue is just like a love letter to the whole Shadow and the pulp genre.
Panther #4. That's like saying Panther.
It's fun.
It makes me happy.
I can't wait for Panther and Thunder to meet. Right? They got the other one, Thunder, with the guy.
Oh man, that's a lot to. Oh man.
Panther and Thunder. Why? I don't like the letter R. Me neither. Okay. I mean, me neither. I get it. It's good. That's my review.
You broke me.
Yeah, I did.
No, that was someone. Nothing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #15. God damn. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #15 is fantastic because Slash is introduced. If you read the April O'Neil microseries thing that came out a couple months ago, you saw him at the end, and you're like, who's that guy? I remember him from my childhood, but I don't remember his name. It's Slash, because Slash is like the awesome, badass Ninja Turtle that's not a Ninja Turtle, and he wears the black mask, and he kicks the Ninja Turtle's ass, and it's awesome.
I thought he had big hair and a top hat.
No, he was too occupied, and he wanted to give away his rights. Yeah, there's a guy dressed like Slash downtown Melbourne last night. I kind of wanted to kick him.
Like you do.
It's just
I would have kicked him. I wouldn't kick somebody
so
dressed like Slash,
stupid.
but if he dressed like Axel, I'll kick him.
no, there's no. Who was he dressed? There was some other. Oh, the other guy was dressed like some stupid skateboarding guy. I forget his name. The guy with the red hair.
I'm gonna know a skateboarding guy.
Shaun White? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, it was just like that. That or he just looked like. Never mind. Critter #5.
Critter #5 of the ongoing is
Way
good.
to take it away from me. I like holding the books.
Because sometimes I need to jog. I read a lot of books. I got to jog my memories. I flip through and go, okay. It continues since the start of the ongoing. We've had anytime someone's taking pictures of her, they've seen kind of a ghost floating around her, and it ties into the Josie storyline. Also, I don't know what's different, but from the first couple of pages.
The art looks different.
Yeah, the art popped more. I looked at the cover. I recognize all these names, so I don't know if it's anybody different on here, because I don't know if I recognize the names from the solicits or they've been on there so far. But something just makes it pop more, and I was like, oh, and I just like it. But yeah, it's good. It's always good.
Higher Earth #6.
I love this book, even
by
though
Sam Humphries.
Sometimes it gives me a headache because everybody in it, for the most part, is the same 3 people from different Earths. So I got to keep track of who's who. But this story had some funny moments, some that were funny like haha, and some that were funny like but it was good. I just love Higher Earth. It's really good science fiction stuff.
Rookie special issue.
This I think is one of my favorite things Boom did. I think this. I mean, not Boom.
It's Big Dog Comics.
Big Dog Inc. Yeah, Big Dog Inc. This is one of my favorite things they've done so far. I really like this and Unicorn. Cricket, Agent of Unicorn, which ties into this because they're doing a bunch of one-shots that are the Paradox paradigm. Paradox is one of the members of the Corps. They're Justice League amalgam kind of team, and I guess Analog is really the word I was looking for. and he knows how the future's supposed to be, and he keeps having to kind of tweak things to make it go the way he feels it's supposed to. And he's done that. He's done that in Critter a little bit, but for this storyline, he did it in Cricket. He's done it in this. The next one is, I believe, Electric Youth.
Dude, don't say anything for the rest of the show until the end. That's awesome.
And it's just good, and the art in this is really nice. And it was a really good story.
Side note. Bad to the Bone's playing in the story, and that makes me happy. I used to sing that a lot when I was little. Phantom Lady and the Doll Man, number 3 of 4.
So good. So good, so good, so good. I'm so happy that I'm happy anytime you let Palmiotti and Gray write anything. Right?
It's true.
This,
they should write more.
Well, we get... Because they did the Ray, totally reinventing the Ray. All right, they're doing this one, totally reinventing Phantom Girl and Doll Man. Next up is Human Bomb. Guess what they're going to do? Totally reinvent the Human Bomb. But they're tying in along the way. They've got a New 52 version of Uncle Sam is shown in here. You've got a brief cameo by the Ray, building up towards the end. These characters are going to start coming together. Going to eventually get maybe, hopefully, a New 52 Freedom Force ongoing. Not Freedom Force, but Freedom Fighters.
Probably won't be an ongoing, no, in DC.
I know.
It'll probably be like a 6-issue miniseries.
I'll read that too, but somebody should make it go.
New Dead Guardians number 8 of 8, final issue.
Wraps up the story so good. So good. It's so good.
There's people fighting outside of here. I want to see this. I also want to tell them to shut up.
They're not fighting. They're arguing over their little game. It's kind of sad.
Let me think they're fighting. No. There's a Rick. Can't see him. X-Men Legacy 275. It's the final issue ever until like 3 weeks from now when number 1 comes out.
It's the final issue of Christos Gage writing greatness. And
I don't know who's writing the new one. I forget.
I don't remember.
I can't keep track of all these guys.
But this was really good. Christos Gage writes such great characters, and it's basically Rogue and Mimic versus not even C. It's like Q. No, it's like Q list. Q-list villains in this prison break. There's like Quicksand, who's like the female Sandman that was in like Thor during like the Ron Friends days. There's Ruby Thursday with the robotic red head that just kind of does. It's like looks like a big red ball, like one of those things old people put in their gardens.
Oh,
and it like comes alive and does stuff and whatever.
I got an old people story.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to share it after. Yeah, I played shuffleboard with a whole bunch of old people Sunday morning. It was fantastic. It was so great.
I'm tired 90% of the time.
It was so great.
Yeah, you were in your element.
Yeah. I asked him where
Did
to
you
get
yell that in the middle? I'm in my element.
No, I was with my little brother and we had to go visit my grandma. She doesn't watch the show, so I can tell her I don't like her. We had to go visit her friend for some reason. I don't know. Shane asked me to drive him. But they were playing shuffleboard. I'm like, I want to play. And me and my little brother were playing, and we had a blast. And we wanted to get those sunglasses that they have.
The big old people
sunglasses. But they don't sell them at the retirement home because we asked where we could get them. Like, I'll go to Walmart. Yeah, we forgot. But played shuffleboard. It was awesome. Avenging Spider-Man Annual should really be called Avenging Thing because that's hilarious. Thank you, Marvel. It says Avenging. I didn't read it.
I read it.
I'm not a fan of annuals.
Well, this is exactly the reason why you're not a fan of annuals. This is one of those annuals where it's like, and we did a big story for no real reason. Yeah, there is an odd moment where, due to some emotion control, you do get, in case you've ever wanted to, if you've ever wondered, what would it look like if if Peter Parker and Ben Grimm made out? You've got that. And that was actually one of the higher points of the issue.
Tick 101.
Sounds like a class. Tick 101. Burn them off, and you're like, so good. Is the Tick and Madman? They're continuing the quest to try and bring Arthur back from the dead. If you've ever read a comic book, this is awesome. There's the guy who talks about the Arthur from the Golden Age says. Comic book. He says superheroes never die. They just get don't stay dead. They just get involved in more and more complicated storylines. And as he says this to I don't know if you can find it.
I'm looking for it.
He says this to the Tick, and the Tick has this like think about it moment, and I think it was closer to the beginning. But the Tick like thinks about it, yeah. And there's just all of these scenarios in the Tick's head of him meeting.
Wow.
Read this one, which is the Batman one that they just did.
So it turns out the I-beams actually sent me bouncing around to the past rather than killing me. I was a pirate, a pilgrim,
And a suffragette.
Holy moly, step in time.
So they just
Good jab. Good
they
job.
hit
Thank
like
you.
several scenarios, and then the one that actually
There was a Superman one in there, I saw. There was a cyborg Tick.
Oh yeah, there's all
cyborg,
the different Ticks, all the different Arthurs. But my favorite is the one that actually is what ends up part of what's going on in the storyline. He sees this thing, and all he says is, "I don't even get what this one is a reference to." It's the actual scenario, and but he it just made me laugh.
Captain Marvel, number 6.
Really good issue. Emma Rios.
Really close to getting canceled. I'm sorry. I had to tell you. I had to tell you.
Emma Rios on art, and Emma Rios just makes everything gorgeous. Is a really good little time travel. We go back to her origin, but the person that takes her back in time took her back to the day of her origin so that she could get the powers instead of Carol, and then they have to fight over, being Captain Marvel, and it's just really good.
Robin Hood, number 2.
Xenoscope's Robin Hood number 2. I liked the first one. The second one is really, really good. She's again, it's not just a she's from a. It's like what's the DC thing with the? We were just talking about it. Girl with the sword, Amethyst. Because it's a girl from the. I keep having a pantomime thing.
Just talking. Yeah, thanks for decapitating there, buddy.
So I can remember. I already had you get attacked by birds. Now I can cut your head off. But she gets taken from our world and into this fantasy world. But it's not just a Robin Hood. There's actual magic going on. There's a woman who's killed and then becomes a water spirit and has to kind of fill her in on her role in this. But all she wants is she's like, I will help you and stop this evil King John from lording over the poor, but what I want out of this is a ticket home to my Earth so that I can get revenge on the people who messed with me for my life, and it's actually just really good.
Godzilla ongoing number 6. Mothra.
New art, kind of a change up, really good story. It's just good.
All right. Ghostbusters 14.
So good. This is the second part of them. Dealing with the Ghost Smashers, who are their competition, who just kind of blow ghosts up. But that's not good because what Egon does in this issue is he does a test. He keeps blowing up Slimer, and then finding out how long it takes. And because Slimer is a smaller ghost, he pulls himself back together faster. But he doesn't like the process. He's a very angry ghost at the moment.
I would too.
And so what they're realizing is these Ghost Smashers aren't getting rid of anything. All they're doing is smashing ghosts that will slowly pull them, and it's only a matter of time before all these ghosts come back together and are just really pissed off. And if you mix them up, if you smash them up and they come back on their own in a non-contained unit like they're doing with Slimer, you end up with...
he is pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed. Venkman pushes the button and blows him up again. But you're going to end up with a whole lot of mixed match, pissed off ghosts. Plus, these Ghost Smashers, are causing so much trouble that you have the most unexpected, uneasy alliance ever. Venkman and Walter Peck are seeing eye to eye. That can't be good for anyone in New York.
Happy number 2.
It's so good. It's so weird, but it's so good. And how do you prove to a man who doesn't want to believe that you're real? Clearly, you go to a poker game and float on the shoulders of everybody else and reveal their cards. And it was just good stuff. All right, here's a book. All right, Heaven to Wudang by Kylie Chan. It's book 3 of Journey to Wudang, which is the second series involving these characters, a bunch of modern-day Chinese mythology. The one before this was good but wasn't great. This one brings it back to greatness and ends in such a way that Kylie Chan, if you're really, that was necessary? Kylie Chan, if you're listening, write another 3 because I want to know what happens next. These are just good. People, go buy these.
Superman Earth 1 Volume 2. Sebastian didn't read it, mainly because he didn't read the first one, but I think because he would hate it because it's not his Superman. This is the Superman for pretty much my generation. It's in Earth 1. This continues right where the first one left off. So he just got the job at the Daily Planet, and he's still trying to figure out what it means to be Superman. And there is a lot of heartbreaking moments. Parasite's in it. Aaron Holland from A Comic Shop dies. And that's fantastic. He even makes fun of it himself. And that cracks me up. When he sent me that picture, I was very happy. I'm sorry you're dead, Aaron. The best part is Triforce Mike's in it. And that should be more than enough to buy it. But this book is fantastic. Straczynski writes this way better than he wrote his Superman story for the individual comics, because, nah. And Shane Davis is just one of the better artists in comics. He's a great artist. I understand why he switched to just doing graphic novels and covers, but this is great. If you enjoyed the first one, pick it up. If you haven't read it, go pick up the first and second one. They're well worth it. And pick up Batman Earth 1.
I'm going to have to get him down the line. The Earth 1 at this point, I think, for the main characters, for Superman anyway, I think, just from what I've seen, I think I like it better than most of the new 52 Superman.
Yeah, it's
I can't say the same about Batman. Earth 1 Batman was awesome, but New 52 Batman is awesome. So it's kind of a tie. Awesome meets awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, that's it.
Joker ain't gonna pull any of that shit on Earth 1 Alfred.
That's 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now is going to be ridiculous. Yeah. So that's it. It's November 1st, so happy November. I hope everyone had fun trick-or-treating and doing whatever they did for Halloween. I'm not a huge Halloween fan. November's my favorite
Because
month.
he's too tall to ever convince anyone he's young enough to get candy.
Yeah, Jared still goes trick-or-treating.
Oh, Jared.
And Billy. I don't know if Billy did this year, but he normally still
Jared's
goes trick-or-treating.
tiny and...
I miss Billy. So, bye. See you.
Bye. Good night.